You're tickling me. That's how you got to the book.
So this was a very interesting scene. Very, very interesting scene. But here's the thing. Gino had something to say in the comment section, as you can see here. So let's get into exactly what he had to say and, why Gino decided to defend himself, or to at least, speak his case. And to be honest with you, usually when somebody has to speak their case, you know what that means? That means that clearly they know that they're not looking good right now. But as you can see, Gino came by saying, Jasmine is only seducing me in this scene because the cameras are on. This never happens at home, off camera. It's a completely different story. As far as her rejection claim, who wants to be intimate with someone that only starts fights with you daily and treats you like all the time? Who wants to be intimate with someone that verbally abuses you daily or screams at you constantly? Or says their ex is better sexually than you, or that she wishes she effed her ex before coming to Michigan. Now, that's definitely not someone I want to be intimate with. Okay, let's rip into this. Not even break it down. Let's rip into this. First and foremost, let's go back to the beginning. Jasmine is only seducing me in this scene because the cameras are on. This never happens at home. Never happens at home off camera. It's a completely different story. Okay, cool. So first thing that I want to know is that if you're telling me that Jasmine never does this at home, which maybe she doesn't, probably doesn't, whatever, but she's doing it here, why are you not taking advantage of the fact that she's actually trying to seduce you? Why didn't you play into it? If you believe that she's doing it just for camera, which is kind of saying that she's just doing this like as if it's a bluff, then my question is, in this scene, especially because the cameras are on, if you wanted us to see a story that, makes you look good or defends you or whatever, what you could have done is you could have been, okay, baby, come here. Started giving her the kisses, started giving her the hugs, you know what I mean? And in that situation, if she had then decided to say, whoa, I only wanted to come and da-da-da-da-da-da, and she stops you in your tracks, at least then we would have been able to see it, and we would have been like, okay, cool, we can now have an opinion on the scenario. But instead of doing that, you behaved in this way. Why? Okay, let's get into why. As far as a rejection claim, who wants to be intimate with someone that only starts fights with you daily and treats you like all the time? Well, here's the thing. Who stays? In fact, who marries? No. In fact, who pays someone to be in a relationship with them if that person is going to daily start fights with them? Treats you like a piece of poop. Listen, you met this woman on a website that involves paying women for their attention. You paid for this. Okay, so how about who does that? Who pays for it? And then who marries that person? And brings them to their house to meet their family, to build relationships with. Come on. And then let's move on to the next one. Who wants to be intimate with somebody that verbally abuses you daily or screams at you constantly? I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what's the crazy thing about this whole verbal BS he keeps talking about? Okay. All right, cool. So why are you still choosing to be with someone that's verbally abusive? In fact, what if being verbally loud? I mean, I'm not going to use the word abusive here, okay? Because that's what he used. I'm going to say, what about somebody who's verbally loud here? But what about if somebody gets turned on with the fact that when their blood races? But let's be real. There's a lot of people in this world that live for that revenge type of, intimacy. So they be screaming all the time, causing issues all the time. Why? Because they want their man to step in and be like, hey, baby, you need to stop yourself. You need to calm yourself down. You know what I'm saying? And they want their man to be like, whoa, hold on a minute, girl, come here. And then boom, the lips get working, the hands get working, and the whole shebang. So what if this is just a part of Jasmine's, way of intimacy? How about that? Because let's be real, there are people out here, they love to live off drama, but that's what turns them on. Why? Because, well, traumatically, drama is what they were raised into. So it's kind of a comfort zone, shall I say. Okay? So if anything, why not try and, each time she's verbally allowed to you, abuses you, Why don't you tell her to, hey, baby, stop, and then give her the kisses that she always says? Why? Because Jasmine's always saying that she is the way she is because you are not intimate with her. So how about you flip that? But then again, though, to do these things and have these ideas, do you know what you need to be? You need to be an alpha man, okay? You need to be a man's man. You can't be some freaking baby. And that's me being polite. Now, let's move on. Also, that FC covers the whole constantly screaming, right? Then there's the part which says, their ex is better sexually than you are. Okay, cool. Let's talk about that. Aren't you the same person who's sending pictures of your current woman, Jasmine, to your ex? Aren't you the same person who also said that you was having more intimacy with your past women than you were in this relationship? So Jasmine saying that is no different to you saying that you was being intimate with your past women more than you was with her. Just make that make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And then also on top of that, let's also get into the next bit here. And that she wishes she effed her ex before coming to Michigan. Listen, if you was giving her the pipe, then she wouldn't have to wish for that. Because you're not giving her that sexual intimacy. That's why she's thinking about XYZ. Who wouldn't? Anyone in a relationship that isn't getting it will be thinking about somebody else. Point blank, period. Some people will even go and step out with somebody else, which is probably what Jasmine is doing. I'm gonna lie to you. And then also he finishes off by saying, now that's definitely not someone I want to be intimate with. It's funny how he gives us reasons of why he does not want to be intimate with Jasmine, rather than giving us reasons to why he should not be with Jasmine. The moment you do not want to be intimate with your partner is the moment that you are basically deciding that you do not want to be with your partner, or at least showing us that you shouldn't be with your partner. So whilst he's here talking all of this gobbledygook, nah, I'm not about that life. Nonetheless, let me know your thoughts on the matter itself in particular, okay? But as far as I am concerned, Gino, it will always be Gino. And when I say that, what I mean is Gino will always be full of shiz. And it's crazy because I had this conversation with someone before, you know, one of my guys. I think, was he one of my friends or someone else? It doesn't matter. You know, I had this conversation before, right? About this situation with Gino, right? I was having this conversation. I was saying like, yo, I don't get this guy. Like, what's going on? Oh no, I know who I was having a conversation with. Yeah, I won't say that person's name. Yeah, you all know that person. And then it hit me. It hit me hard. At the time, there are just males. I'm not gonna call him a man, but there are males in this world that just because your girl is looking good, if she's looking good, you're not gonna impact on it. You know what I mean? You're not gonna act on it. You're just gonna be challenging because you're gonna find an excuse to not touch her because you're not really a man's man. But a man's man in this situation here, yo, like, let's keep it a buck. If your girl comes in today, all the men know what I'm talking about right now. In fact, you know what? Women know what I'm talking about. What I'm gonna say, what I'm about to say right now, okay? But let me say it from the man's perspective first. Mandem, we all know that regardless of what argument you have had with your woman right now, whether that man is married or he's just in a relationship, whatever, we all know that if you have a disagreement with your woman right now, and then she comes in looking to seduce the F out of you, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna give it that punishment type intimacy. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay? And that's what they call the, you know, the makeup intimacy, right? 100%. But on the flip side, women, when you know that you've annoyed your man, you know that you've had a disagreement and you don't want to admit you was wrong, avoid that accountability, what do? Some of y'all women out here, you be like, well, you know what, let me just put something nice on, you know what I'm saying? Let me distract his mind. You know, I know I'm wrong, but I don't want to say I'm wrong, so how about I just distract his mind and put something nice on and make sure he gets the best. Boom, he's not added a minute for me. This is what I'm saying. So let's be real. Women are very aware that they can use the power of sex against a man when the situation has not gone well. The same way men know that they will happily submit to a woman, you know what I mean, sexually, when things have not necessarily gone well, you know, because really and truly, especially when you're in a marriage, and let alone a relationship, what is that one thing, technically speaking, that can actually solve everything? Intimacy is that one thing that technically can solve everything. The only reason I say technically is because sometimes people use intimacy as a way to avoid the real conversation, which is why we live in a world where there's a lot of people who are in relationships that are basically red flag type of relationships, but people stay in those red type relationships because they just keep having intimacy as the way to get past everything, as if it's like solved something, and really it hasn't. You see what I'm saying? But that's a whole other conversation. With that being said, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. We'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace. Oh, yeah, and also shout out to the reality TV mess, my guy.